Good morning, well, afternoon actually. We spent all morning inside doing paperwork and businessy kind of work. That still looks really good. Yeah, Bob and Court came over from Lincolnshire pickers and we did our Monday morning team meeting where we go through a lot of stuff, do some packing for our products that we've sold over the weekend. And yeah, it was good. 3 or 4 hours together and they've just left. So we have, I keep on saying so, don't I? Stop it. I've just cut the grass. It was mainly on quite a high one, just to really collect all the leaves and debris, but it's also given it a nice trim. So that looks really good. I'm going to do one more job this afternoon before pouring myself a beer and crashing out. What shall it be? We had 3 pots of agapanthus and they were buried. It looked like just really big, ugly pots. I tipped them out. There was hardly any growth at the top. It was all root. So what we did was I cut the root. I cut it right the way through, and we made 5 younger, less root-bound plants. You can see 4 of them. 1 I've virtually buried. So we've put them there. This is going to be like our holding bed this year for stuff that we don't particularly want to just keep in the greenhouse. It's just upturned turf where we've dug out the border a bit more. What I think I want to do now is I want to get this down. It's as good as dead. Me and Kirsten did quite a bit of clearing stuff, but it's still, there's grass everywhere, so if you look, that will be very difficult to recover, that one. But we're going to take this out. It is mainly dead underneath. We're never going to be able to recover that. So I'll get my chainsaw, lop it off at the stump there, and then process all this. Might get the shredder out, I might not, I might just leave it next to the incinerator. This bed's doing really well. That's white mustard, which we use with salads and stuff. Probably got far too much, can't get through enough. Pak choy down there for sort of stir fries and to treat a bit like spinach as well. There's some spring onions in the middle and they haven't come to anything. But then I've put these onion sets in, 2 rows of reds, 1 row of white, and they're doing really well. But what's that? Anybody who knows what's growing in between? you could put it in the comments if you know. I'm assuming it's just a weed, but is it something I should be worried about? Should I take that up? Or is it just an old crop from before we were here? Let me know in the comments, please. So we emptied the dahlias out of the pots yesterday and washed the roots all the way through, got rid of anything that shouldn't be there, and left them to dry in here overnight. And I'm going to put those, I believe, store them in a darkish place. So yeah, that's they'll go into like a brown paper bag, and I'll stick those in the garage somewhere nice and dry for over winter. We still have got some dahlias in these beds, which we're going to clear fairly soon, but they are still looking pretty good. 3rd week of October now. They've been non-stop flowering since we've been here. So as soon as they get affected by the frost, we'll cut them down and do the same and store the dahlias over winter until all the frosts are finished in next year. And they won't be replanted in these, because obviously these are all going to be for the kitchen garden, and it'll just be full of veggies. The garlic is doing really well. So that's the shop bought one, and obviously that was a bit older than the stuff that we bought from the car boot from the farmer. And but his is definitely coming. I don't know if you can see those. One there, one there. One there, and 2 or 3 in this one. So it looks like that's going to do okay during the winter for us. We've been continuing to clear the main border, so that that big woody shrub went the other day. It's a lot clearer now. There's a hell of a lot of grass in here which we need to get up, not the ornamental grass I'm talking about, but particularly down this side. Loads of the stuff. We've got to dig it out. I know we could go down the no dig method and sort of cover it, but this is a huge border and I just haven't got the compost for it, and I don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on it. So we will have to dig out as much as we can and then gradually get things sorted. But these are the verbenas that were put in here over winter. I just did a bit more cutting out. I'm just doing it very gradually to increase the size of this bed. Literally about a foot's worth of turf coming out every time I feel like it. And that is a lot more defined than it used to be. But eventually it will come out to take in the fruit trees as well. I've been clearing this section. We've just been using this to store stuff, but this is where the next compost area is going to be. So I'm going to start getting that underway anytime now. I received a load of wood yesterday, and yeah, this will be the next compost area. It'll be quite handy because then anything off the main bed, I don't have to tramp all the way across the garden. We can just come around here and dispose of it. It's been a beautiful day today, really, really nice. It's been a good week actually. My daughter's got a really good job, which is fantastic, and my son and his partner, they have just bought a house up in Newcastle. So yeah, it's been a really nice week. And then with all the pressures previous all gone, it's been good. She's doing that whole, wants to be out with me, but when she's out with me, she wants to go back in again. Are you coming? Are you coming, Jenny? Jenny? Are you coming out? Just wagging your tail. Are you going to come out? Come on in.
Let's go.
Are you coming?
Come on.
Right, I've just cut the inside of the front hedge, and now, once I can hang this up in a second. Stay. Yeah, I've been in here over the last couple of nights. I've been making a table, so just another table for either in the shed or in here, just sort of like an occasional table. So I'll work on that in a bit, see how that goes. Otherwise, everything is pretty much the same in here. It's my getaway. Late afternoon, come in here for a couple of hours and build stuff. That's another thing that I'm going to build in the next week. My bench, just there. Right, let's go and have a sit down, Jen. Trip a bit? Yeah. So it's Friday afternoon, it's a bit early actually for a beer. Sod it. I'm going to do a bit of work. I'm not supposed to be working on a Friday afternoon. It's mine and Kirsten's afternoon off, but I got a load of books from an auction the other day, and that's kind of my side of things on our business, as well as one or two other things like prints and mirrors and things like that. But yeah, I've got 22 boxes of books to process and to get online, mainly political books and history books and stuff like that. It's quite interesting going through them. So I'm gonna pour myself a beer, put on a couple of YouTube videos, see who's put one out in the last day or so, and yeah, just crack on. Come on, let's go in the lounge. Yeah? Let's go in the lounge. Yep, that's the way, you know the way. Oh, you nearly fell then, didn't you? You nearly fell. You alright? So yeah, this is what I've got to work through in the next day or two. Oh, that one's done. Good, good. What is in this one? There you go. Maritime Doctrine of Pakistan, the Pakistan Navy. Any offers? If you're interested in this, just let me know. I'm sure I'll be inundated. One of those. The Secret State, Whitehall and the Cold War. Ministry of Defence, Defence Strategic Communication and Approach to Formulating and Executing Strategy. A nice light read, that one. Brilliant Positive Psychology. Cool. So yeah, it's this sort of stuff. What the hell's that? Transactions of the Honourable Society of somewhere in Wales. Military Contribution to Stabilisation. So anyway, all these sort of obscure books you can't get from many places. Not many people want them, but one or two people do, and one or two people will pay us a fair bit of money for them. So, well, that's the plan anyway. So I've done all of these behind here in the last couple of days. And I've got about 3 or 4 times as much to get through. Fun. So shall we watch? Who's got one out? Dog on the plot? Yeah, might watch.
Welcome to Dog on the Plot. I'm
Watch
on the
her
plot.
in a bit.
The dog is here.
Do you watch Craigslist Hunter?
So all this stuff, right? I mean,
I really like Craigslist Hunter. It's a bit more on our reselling side of things rather than gardening, but it's good. Charles Dowding, don't know that one. Adam's Gardening Guides, not sure about that one. It's Cadgy. Yeah, I think we shall go for a little bit of Craigslist Hunter.
So all this stuff, right? I mean, Coke stuff, don't get me wrong, is great, but the market is a little bit flooded. It's a little bit harder at the moment. How do you think this is legit? Everything that I look at on this jersey tells me that this is not legit.
It's Saturday morning and a very wet, miserable one so far. I've just finished off that little table that I've knocked up. I had the top from something else, and I've just done a quick frame and popped that on. So again, as many work surfaces in here as I possibly can, and then when we get the benches up over the next couple of weeks, this will be a very useful potting shed, but also a space where I can do a bit more woodwork. It's going to be a quiet day on the gardening jobs. It's due to rain again. It's just stopped after about 8 hours, but we'll get a few things done. Started raining again, so I'm just going to get on with the benches in the shed. Right, I'm using the big fence posts for legs, the 2x1s for the support, and then I've got 2 big sheets of, I think it's 18mm ply. For the worktop, I've got 1 worktop already in there. That needs to be cut down. So just get some of this into the garage where I'm working at the moment. Make sure it stays nice and dry. Look at these. These are all gone really well. Kirsten's been looking after these since we moved in. She planted them all. But all still going really strongly, getting on towards late October now. Right, pop that into here. And the worktop that I'm going to work on first is in here already. That's that. So that I think that's 8 foot. So I need to cut off about 1 foot so that it fits into there. I'll pop the legs. I think one might go exactly there, and then I'll do a shorter one at the end. It's got to be about 34 inches high, which I think is the standard worktop measurement. So let's see how we get on. So we've got the first bench in situ, and then eventually we'll do another one there. Not going to do it today. That's pretty solid. It's attached to the wall, but just slightly. It doesn't really need to be any more solid than that, but yeah, a good potting bench and various other stuff that I can use it for. And then we'll do one here as well. I was going to do this one slightly lower, almost like a his and hers, but I think I might do it the same. And then if we do have something, say a huge bit of wood or something to do, it can just go straight across those two. But yeah, that's been a good 2 hours work. And yeah, I think that was pretty good. Still a really miserable day. Very windy. It's been raining all morning, plus the wet floor in here, in and out. So anyway, this is now complete. Finished that one yesterday and finished that one this morning. Both are nice and solid. And mainly going to be for potting up, that sort of stuff. I think I'm going to make similar ones, maybe a bit heavier duty ones for the garage where I do more of the sort of DIY stuff. But this is ideal potting shed now. Changed a bit since we got here, only 3 months ago. So I think eventually what I'll do is I'll do a nice long bench all the way along that wall, and I can use that to do the DIY stuff, because the workmate's okay, but it's a bit sort of makeshift. And I might put something there as well, either a bench, another bench, or maybe some sort of shelving unit to go the height of that wall. But this now needs a bloody good tidy up with a state of my dartboard mat. So that's this afternoon's job. A nice tidy up of the garage.
This is my office, and out of my office window it looks out onto the drive and this bit of garden at the front. You might recognise the fence that then takes you out over the garden. And we've decided that I'm going to take on this bit of garden because it's the bit that I look out to when I'm working, but also this container here and any other pots we decide to get. Now, I wanted to make a start on this today, but it's been absolutely hideous. And as you can tell from our little thing out there, it's a little bit blowy as well. So I don't know if I'm going to get any of this done today, which is a real shame, because I just wanted to get stuck in. This so the wind's not blowing it. Right, there's a load of moss and ground cover, ivy. There's this old Hebe which I think I'm going to get out because it's all gone a bit dead inside. Ferns, Darren's going to replant. This I'm keeping. Mombrisha or something else it's called, forget. Procosmia, that's the words. And the Japanese anemones I like. I'm not a massive fan of grasses, but I don't know if I'll be able to get those out. But I'm going to make a start by cutting stuff down. But that's where we're starting from. And that's my pot. These were planted by the previous owner. They've done really, really well. We haven't really even touched them apart from watering them. So, but that's going to change as well.
It's a really lovely day. I've just planted some more things that I found around the garden into this like shaded sort of woodlandy bit that we're developing. It's where that ugly old conifer was. And I found some foxgloves and primulas, and I've got one fern. We're going to get another fern later on today, hopefully. Just giving it a water in because I planted quite a bit of stuff this morning and I didn't water it in, and it's gone real sunny this afternoon. So that's coming along nicely, and And what I'm going to do, as I say, is extend it just gradually to be all under here as well. So it'll go so at least up to about here.
It was Sunday when I made a start on this and it absolutely tipped it down, so I left it. And it's now Tuesday and this is what I've got to contend with. I think the biggest problem is going to be the ivy. But anyway, let's carry on with it. And you can see I've cut down all this. I got out some of the grass. It just all looks a bit of a mess, if I'm honest. A couple of hours later, I've pulled out 2 wheelbarrows of ivy. A few weeds, not many. Mainly ivy, to be honest. Dan took out some of the branches underneath here to make it a bit easier to get under, and it looks a much nicer shape, to be honest. So that was a good job done. And then I've started on this Hebe thinking, oh, that won't take me too long. Cut off all the green, because half the problem is getting rid of the stuff, isn't it? So I cut off all the green, that's gone in the compost, and now I've started on the woodiness. But it's like a tangled mess. It's not that easy. So I'm doing that, but I think I'm going to have to give up just about now because big black clouds.
These cordyline, which we cut back because they were growing into the oak tree, and they shouldn't have ever been down there. Actually trying to come back, but they've been cut right to the stem. There's growth there as well. Incredible. So sorry, but we're not going to let you come back. Oh, another pigeon. Right, so we've got this fig tree. Never had a fig before, so not sure what to do with it. I know it's planted in a pot for a reason because of the roots and everything get everywhere, but it doesn't look in amazing shape, but it's still alive, you can see. So what do we do with it? Do we plant it in the ground? I don't particularly want it here near the garage, so I'm not sure what to do. Okay, so it's got this, which is useless, and it's loose, it's rotted away at the base, so I'm going to get that off and get that strap taken off now. But then any suggestions on to what to do with the fig tree? Do I plant it with the other fruit trees? Will it get too big? Will the roots take over? I don't know. What should we do? I know not to put it next to a building and plant it. It won't be there. Just really not sure. Right, so we've got some wire there, which I could just use to further rabbit proof, or I could make a leaf mulch area near that old cordyline. Let's give that a go. little bit so we get it fairly level, and then if we put that over there, put it tight against that stuff there. It's fairly heavy anyway, it's very heavy anyway, so I don't think it would knock over, but we'll just put some sort of tack in there to attach it to that. And then if we just attach it on one side, when it's ready to empty, hopefully we can just go like that. And lovely leaf mulch compost will fall out of it. That's the theory anyway, but I don't think that looks bad. And again, we're making another area of the garden useful to go alongside the compost bin. All of this side will be covered eventually by the big vegetable patch here. So yeah, I think that will work. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already, and just give us a like. That would be much appreciated. We shall see you hopefully in about a week's time.